Hi, Karen?
Yes, he is. Sophie, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to start the trip.
Okay.
Do you prefer some route?
No, it's okay.
Okay. We are going to the downtown, right?
Yes. Mm, how long have you been working for Uber?
Um, 5 months.
Oh, that's cool. Did you know the story of how you were born? And
Oh no, I don't.
I read something about that the last day, but I'm not sure.
Hope I just can have a so bad taxi service. Not a single taxi in 30 minutes.
I know. That's why in San Francisco I've saved the number of more than one driver.
Too bad we're not there. What are you doing?
Booking a hotel.
I would do something like that to get a taxi. Gary Kemp began working on a prototype as a side project for at that time Eurocab. By summer of 2009, Kemp had persuaded Travis Kalanick to join as Eurocab's chief incubator. Kemp has the idea of why a few limos had a few drivers and have a little iPhone app, but Travis didn't support him. Viacar wasn't a good option at the time, but the idea of pushing a button and getting a ride in less than 5 minutes was a magical one. The first prototype was built by Kemp and his friends, Oscar Salazar and Conrad Whelan, with Kalanick being brought on as a mega advisor to the company. The services were tested in New York in 2010, which is today one of its biggest and perhaps most controversial markets. The official launch took place in San Francisco in 2011, the beginning of a disruptive company changing the rules.
Pre-money valuation was $17 billion.
Uber has now launched right here. Uber Cab has expanded from San Francisco to 6 other cities.
Uber arrived in Mexico in 2013, 5 years after being launched on the market. Even thought it is the southern border of its founding country. His success in Mexico was overwhelming, went from being in 4 cities to 35 cities in 4 years.
Uber has been able to rapidly expand into new markets around the world. During its expansion, Uber has met fierce resistance from the taxi industry and government regulators.
Just in Mexico, its arrival in each city implied problems with the taxi drivers, which often had violent results.
Mexico became the first Latin American country to make the ride-sharing app Uber legal. But guess what? The local taxis, not happy.
In many cities such as Veracruz and Puerto Vallarta, the taxi drivers won the battle and were not allowed to enter the app. The current situation of Uber in front of the taxi drivers to worsen it by the increase of the tariffs of American company. If this continues, Uber could have in some cities of Mexico the same destination it had in Barcelona, where it announced its withdrawal in January 2019.
While this was happening, Uber was targeting its competitor. It deployed another powerful software program called Ripple. Ripple was used to remotely delete company data during rides. And later, Uber faces the consequences. And some changes were applied. Uber implemented a sophisticated strategy to destroy, conceal, cover up, and falsify records or documents with intent to impede or obstruct government investigation. But what was it? The argument of Travis Kalanick?
In order to be in this business, in order to be this disruptive to what's going on, you have to be willing to fight.
In 2009, the industry landscape was totally different. Literally, no one of its current competitors exists. It was a much simpler time, where Uber only has to compete against freaking water taxi shops. With people relying more and more on the mobile phones, Uber was undefeated in a short span of 2 years and has become this behemoth that every investor talks about. The time was 2011. People were comparing Uber with the likes of Google and Facebook, and just like Facebook, Uber dominating the world was supposed to be just a matter of time. In 2014, Uber was already valued at $17 billion. However, 2014 was destined to be a pivotal year for the ride-sharing industry, not because of Uber's success, but because of this other company, SoftBank. In 2014, SoftBank made its move to invest in Grab Taxi in Southeast Asia and Ola in India, and this move is now proving to be genius, making SoftBank the puppet master behind the entire ride-sharing industry. Between 2014 and now, many things have happened. They expandedly marginalized the protagonist of the Uber story, and now came this new leading actor, SoftBank. Remember that Uber that was seemingly unstoppable in 2014. It turns out Uber might be unstoppable in the United States, but when it comes out of the United States, it gets roadblocked everywhere. The rose image of Uber dominating the entire industry is no more, and the reason for all the roadblocks is SoftBank. If you don't know SoftBank, you must know its most successful investment, Alibaba, the Amazon of China. SoftBank owns nearly 30% of Alibaba and is filthy rich. Ever since its investment in Alibaba, SoftBank maintained a very strong presence in China, and therefore, when Didi, the competitor of Uber, came out in China, SoftBank was one of its first investors. Well, the actual story involves another, but for the purpose of the explanation, let's just say that SoftBank is one of the early investors of Didi. However, SoftBank's ambition in the ride-sharing industry didn't stop here. This is only the first step. The second step was to compete heads-on with Uber, its only competitor. Well, the truth is SoftBank didn't choose to compete with Uber. It's the other way around. This perhaps is the reason for the downfall of Uber. It has no one else to blame except for itself. Uber made the decision to expand overseas. Uber chose to simultaneously compete in every conceivable market, despite its gas status. Perhaps it's a greed, perhaps it's ambition, whatever it is, Uber exhausts all of its resources in its battle overseas, and now it has to retreat. In 2017 alone, Uber has lost over $4.5 billion, and for your references, at Uber current valuation of $54 billion, all these other companies, Google, Facebook, are making a profit. While Uber was expanding, SoftBank extended its reach in every market in the industry. In China, it invests in Didi, in Southeast Asia, it invests in Grab, in India, it invests in Ola, owning from 20 to 60% of these companies, either by itself or through Alibaba. If this is not enough, Alibaba and Didi also invest in Taxify, the Uber of Europe, and Lyft, Uber's Didi competitor in the United States. Uber is surrounded by allies of SoftBank now. Grab in South Asia, Ola in India, Didi in China, Taxify in Europe, and finally Lyft in Uber's home port, the United States. The saying is that Uber has no choice but to fall in line. SoftBank delivered its finishing blow last year, investing over $9 billion in Uber, buying over 15% of Uber itself, making SoftBank the puppet master behind most ride-sharing companies. Travis Kalanick is no more the Uber CEO. It's that. But this will be enough to change the future of Uber?